living the Pokemon dream. The Thickies Pokemon League, where the best and the bold. Only beauty can compete, only legends are told. Flashing lights and roaring crowd, in the ring they take their stance. Only pros and beauty queens, here they all get their chance. Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. From Bulbasaur to Charizard, strong and stunning and bright. Every battle's a star show, every match a pure delight. Electric sparks and fiery blaze, trainers shouting a cheer. This is where dreams are made, winning's our quest. Oh dear, Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. The Thickies Pokemon League, where the best and the bold. Only beauty can compete, only legends are told. Flashing lights and roaring crowd, in the ring they take their stance. Only pros and beauty queens, here they all get their chance. Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. From Bulbasaur to Charizard, strong and stunning and bright. Every battle's a star show, every match a pure delight. Electric sparks and fiery blaze, trainers shouting a cheer. This is where dreams are made, winning's our quest. Oh dear, Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. The Thickies Pokemon League, where the best and the bold. Only beauty can compete, only legends are told. Flashing lights and roaring crowd, in the ring they take their stance. Only pros and beauty queens, here they all get their chance. Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. From Bulbasaur to Charizard, strong and stunning and bright. Every battle's a star show, every match a pure delight. Electric sparks and fiery blaze, trainers shouting a cheer. This is where dreams are made, winning's our quest. Oh dear, Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. The Thickies Pokemon League, where the best and the bold. Only beauty can compete, only legends are told. Flashing lights and roaring crowd, in the ring they take their stance. Only pros and beauty queens, here they all get their chance. Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. From Bulbasaur to Charizard, strong and stunning and bright. Every battle's a star show, every match a pure delight. Electric sparks and...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Thickies Pokemon League podcast. We're heading into week 3. We had some really big matchups in week 2. Some great series, very close. So many of them went to 3 games. We're going to review some of those live on the podcast here tonight. Got Machiavelli in here. He's going to cover some transactions as well. And of course, we do have predictions, what we think is going to happen in this pivotal week 3. Remember, the bottom 2 players in each conference will miss the playoffs altogether. Time to lock in is now. Machiavelli, how you doing?
How you doing, man? Yeah, we're happy to be here. Yeah, gritty week, I think, is the words a lot of people are using coming up.
Yeah, lot of big matchups, a lot of preparation going into this week. This could be one of those weeks where we see a lot of matches done later towards the deadline. Many such weeks, actually, but that's neither here nor there. Dev says, ask Veli his thoughts on his last matchup. So we're going to touch on that later, but I think the fans want to hear about it now. What are your thoughts on your last matchup, Mr. Machiavelli?
I don't think you saw the best version of me. I think Dev outplayed all over the place. Game 1, I think I got the benefit of the luck to say.
Yeah, we got that replay live right now, actually.
But yeah, I don't think the best version of me came. I don't think my best Yax's set was there. Just honestly didn't really prep for Slowking as much as I wanted to.
You know, it was interesting to me. I missed the first 2 games, so I went into game 3 blind, watching it live from work. I noticed, it was a pretty rough start for Dev in that game 3. Losing the Toxic Orb on Gliscor, not really a position you want to be in. And up to a point in this game, you really did have control. But things kind of got away from you.
Gren really just puts a lot of pressure on my team in general.
Yeah.
Right there, I'm just forcing a switch out. Discharge here, I'm just praying for some type of hacks. Nice pair would have been nice there. The problem is Slowking just really hits everything nicely into my team. I was also fearing T-Wave majority of this series before I realized it was AV. Based on the Enamorous damage right here. He doesn't really care about a knockoff there. And then, he started freely clicking wild charges later on with Slithering. At this point, I was just trying to get rid of the Gliscor, which I don't think he was my main guy, because he's going to go right back into Gengar right here, force me out. Yeah, the problem is Greninja's always lurking. Anything weak, Greninja's just going to get a Battle Bond and pretty much take me out. So I don't have like a Vacuum Wave or like a Mach Punch, anything to outspeed it.
Yeah, Greninja,
right here.
That Battle Bond set, just the threat of it always puts you in such a precarious position.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you can even overplay into that set and bam, it's Choice Specs. Or it's like a Protein set. There's a few different ways it can attack you. And if, it sucks to be in that position. You can be up 6-2. And that Greninja in the back may just have you pinned. You may not even know it.
Yeah, I wish Gyarados got some type of priority. Would have made this a lot easier. But yeah, we did make some moves. Signed Mence, released Mence. Thought about it. Didn't really like it. But yeah, right here, it's just look what Slitherwink's just putting pressure on. His team is very similar to mine in a lot of pivoting moves. I like playing like that. It's just that so many mons on his team just forces you into positions where you gotta. I think his team is very similar to my team. If you kind of look at it, he has a little bit more defense. I think Slowking is somebody we actually wanted to draft it. He took it ahead of me. Slowking would have been in that Rotom slot. Yeah, we're happy with Rotom brings to the table, but just look right here. He's
even the Slitherwing, once it got the Enamorous with the Wild Charge, at that point nothing can switch into the first impression.
Right.
With Rotom being weak and pinned.
I think my mistake here was Gyarados going down. Would have liked to have Gyarados healthy late game here. Like I probably would have Healing Wish to Gyarados. Problem is now I gotta go to Weavile and then start the cycle back over, and the first impressions just ran out of steam here, Bob.
Yeah, it happens. Hard fought series. What happened in game 2?
I forgot about Greninja.
Yeah.
And I left something weak, and he came in battle bonded.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Greninja.
Yeah.
I think very worthy of that high price tag.
Cyndaquil says Gyarados, it's a nickname in the community. It's Galarian Zapdos.
But Gyarados
who was signed, released, and then signed again. We brought him back.
Yeah.
To the rule.
Walk us through that decision-making process.
Yeah, so we were kind of thinking we needed a dragon for resistances. Wanted to match up into some of the guys, DP and Dead, a little bit better, but I think after building for DP earlier today. I don't think releasing Zapdos was an idea that I really thought through. Um, Cynical says Zapdos is such a funny name. Yeah, it's a pesky little bird pecking away. Yeah, he's happy to be back in Soho, though. But yeah, Dev outplayed all over the board. I don't think, like I said, I don't think my Dio set was something I liked here. Possibly if there's a rematch, there's going to be more shenanigans.
Was that the first matchup between yourself and Dev?
Yeah, first ever, yeah.
Interesting.
I was also feeling really, really confident after game one, and it kind of just didn't really assert myself the way I should have game two, and then game three, it's anyone's game.
Very exciting. We're going to jump into Limit versus Mr. Boy. We got the scrappy veteran Limit and the newcomer Mr. Boy. Has done very well with that Mudsdale thus far. Very impressive season.
Yeah, I think he's in the running for Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah, isn't he the only rookie? I'd say he's definitely in the running.
Chris one, yeah, I thought there was one more.
I think he's unanimous Rookie of the Year.
Thank you, Bob.
That's analytics brought to you by JJ Bigabottom. Do you see the terrain brought here to enable the Hawlucha possibly? Hawlucha has been on a tear despite the week 2 loss.
Yeah, I mean, so I was responding to Dev in the chat. I think there's a mutual respect between the two coaches of New York, me and Dev. After a little bit of a rivalry early on, I think both of us, trading blows there. A little bit of respect. Now about this match,
yeah,
kind of methodical. I think the way the Pants Man worked his way here. Limit's got one of those teams he just can't bust open. You can't really just with Ting Lu sitting there, even Samurott, such a good mon. Weezing, you just don't really find avenues which ways to set up. I mean, you're either going to get whirlwinded or you're going to get hazed. So Pant-Man took it the long way. Really just trying to chip things down and get that Ogerpon and Doki Dogi in range of KOing things.
Well, there were times where it looked like he would really not be able to break this Ting Lu and other parts of this really stout roster of Lemons. And here's one of those moments, the Zapdos roosting gets caught by the Earthquake. And that puts you in a pretty tough position. That leftover is healing. Really just eating away at that health deficit of Ting Lu.
It's really tough to. I mean, I'm glad Limit's not in my conference. This is just a team that you really don't want to play. Not a lot of teams like this in the TPL. A lot of different teams built differently, but this is one of those teams with Hawlucha just waiting in the back, right to come out of nowhere after he just got done slinging things at Ting Lu and Arcanine, such a wild card. I thought it should have been Rockhead. Not really sure what the Flash Fire was for. Maybe thinking.
Yeah, we did see Recoil, did we not?
Yeah, maybe thinking he can catch like a Cudgel to the face and then just click Flare Blitz. But
yeah, but I mean, Mold Breaker would ignore the ability.
Oh.
So it wouldn't even have made a difference. Yeah, not sure. Limit is in the chat, or was at some point, perhaps, can walk us through the decision making, perhaps a simple mistake.
I think he went back to Clash Royale or Clash of Clans, whatever he was playing. New animation there for the Make It Rain, I think.
Yeah, not sure. Didn't notice, Bob.
There was coins coming out of Goldango. I did not see that.
I thought that's always been there. Not sure.
Maybe not on my screen. Maybe it was a firmware update. Big Bottoms will research that. Good adaptation, though, for Zapdos, switch opting for the U-turn over the Volt Switch. I think the problem here, though, is for Limit, he's not really making a lot of progress, and Pant-Man is just healing back up and stuff. Psychic Noise is a good idea. Problem is, Reuniclus is so weak now, so next time he comes in, right to the face.
Yeah, and this is not going to do a lot of damage to a defense-boosted Mudsdale. And then that Mudsdale having Roar, just shuffling the team around. And then able to get the rocks up, and kind of a reverse situation here. He's having as much trouble with Mudsdale as you typically would with Ting Lu.
Right. I mean, Mudsdale in some ways is a poor man's Ting Lu after a couple of boosts, right? I mean, there's the roar, boom, see you later. Weezing comes back in, and then you lose your seed, right? So no more seed.
Yeah.
Then the rocks are up, and now anything that's coming in is getting chipped. You can SD all you want. There's the roar, boom, see you later.
Yeah, Mudsdale really
Sam-
kind of broke that sort of stalemate these two were in.
Right. And even that, look at that Razor Shell. There's the body press, boom, see you later. Thanks for coming, there's dinner on the way out. Mudsdale with the body press, just really whacking things. There's the EQ. This is really good chip still. I mean, if you're a Pant-Man, you take that all the day.
Yeah, unfortunately,
free
doesn't
U-turn.
find the KO with the Hurricane, but does land the back-to-back Hurricanes there, fortunately. Not forced to U-turn out of the substitute.
Yeah, that was a free rapid spin, U-turn, sub, all the above, just to get Zapdos in. I almost called it Gapdos for how much I just talked about it in the previous series. But now, yeah, Hurricane gets the confusion, lands another one. That's a big one.
Oh,
Would've
it's
been whirlwind
Rocky
it out.
Helmet, not Recoil. Unless you saw Recoil earlier.
I could have sworn that he took Flare Blitz damage at some point in one of the games I was watching.
Could have been the
Could be
Rocky
wrong.
Helmet, Bob.
Probably. There's the Doggy.
Yeah, so I think the battle was a little closer than it may have looked at the end there. Definitely pretty tight up until, about the point Mudsdale blew things wide open for the Pant-Man over there, Mr. Boy the rookie. Very impressive. He's up against MRF. These two scheduled without a problem. That's going to be an exciting series this week.
Yep.
And finally, one that was not linked, unfortunately. And was also played under my burner account, which is the curator's name, funnily enough. Me versus Swaggy. Pretty good series. Hopefully, those of you who didn't get to see it can watch it now live.
Yeah, I was off of work today, so I got to watch the first two. Did not get the link for number 2, obviously. So, first time watching it here, Bob, but I wanted to wait.
Yeah, and I think game 1 and 2, I think we had the Flygon versus Meowscarada lead each time, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, we did see Golduck make an appearance game 1. Thoughts on that nasty plot set with the Power Gem?
Golduck did claim 2 bodies today. We're going to try to get him up top of the kill leaderboard this season. Flygon sitting in the top 10 at the moment.
Is there a price tag on Golduck?
No, not for sale.
Not for sale. Interesting. At this moment in time. Thought Magnet Rise was a good adaptation just from watching right here. Bronzong's now trapped. He's pinned. All the above.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be faster than the Pheasantipity with my Annihilate, so I used a pretty weak Rage Fist there behind the screen, unfortunately. I was a little bit upset. My weakness policy set didn't get the full value in game 2, but still kind of like the potential there.
Yeah, I was surprised about the Bronzong. I don't think he brought it the first game or the second game. I know it didn't come.
Didn't bring it the first game, did have it game 2.
Right, yeah, it was one of the games. I thought it was going to be good, just into a couple different things you wanted to bring, right? Flygon kind of struggles versus Bronzong, and then even Ogerpon, Cornerstone, for the most part, besides knockoff, right? I mean, your 2 stabs are blocked off. I thought Bronzong should have came one, but yeah, he did go with the DD Mew and the DD Ignite. Just kind of blow his way through your team, but Arachnid is just a pesky SOB.
Real nasty guy.
Yeah, there's a flower trick. Not going to do enough. And then he gets the Life Orb damage. That's one thing. I love Life Orb, but I hate Life Orb. I haven't run Life Orb in a long time. I think the only time I ran it was maybe week 1 with Dio, and I haven't run Life Orb in like 2 or 3 seasons, so just don't like the
we kept seeing
chip
the
damage.
Meowscarada, and Meowscarada when you're preparing for it's always such a pain. There's a lot of different ways it can hurt you, and it's always going to be so fast, and you'll have to switch something into that knockoff. Fortunately, I have Clefable who's okay into it, and Magnezone ended up doing all right with a pretty defensive set there.
Yeah, and then Clef, Tommy Tutu was wondering why there was no Moonblast on the Clef. Care to elaborate there?
Yeah, there's a few things that I kind of wanted to bring Clef in on, like potentially a Pheasantipity without poison coverage. And also wanted to be able to do some damage to, thinking like, Treads, Volcanion, who we saw game 1 and 2. And then more consistent damage on, the likes of Mew and Bronzong and things like that. Moonblast, though, would have definitely been useful in this series, but I still like the choice.
And at this point, it's just really just good night, see you later for Swaggy, with not much he can do besides the DD Knight, and just real tough to get DD Knight in right now, even with the Fez. Magic Guard Clef is not taking any toxic damage.
Yeah, it is, and we saw Clef live, a boosted Iron Head before, so still had that potentially. I did make a mistake earlier by bringing Annihilate in on that Earthquake, not necessarily what I expected.
Cyndaquil says, honestly, Clef needs its Magic Guard so it can't be affected by Toxel and such. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Magic Guard generally going to be better ability. But there are matchups where you like Unaware. Sometimes with a Dragonite on the other side, one of them. There's some other heavy hitters like that may require the Unaware Clefable.
I don't think he was expecting the Scale Shot.
Yeah, well, my Flygon wasn't even DD. It was just a Scale Shot, Earthquake, First Impression, and this one I think was Stealth Rock. Yeah, something like that. But we've got some matchups to get into here. Somewhere on here. Boom, there it is, week 3. Quite a few really blockbuster matchups here. We've got MRF and we've got Mr. Boy. That's going to be exciting. These two know each other. From what I hear, they do not like each other. This is a rivalry match, folks.
Yeah. They're going to be slugging it.
Yeah. And then on the other side, we've got Belly and Frost DP. DP fresh off the easy win last week. Wasn't that versus Tommy Tutu?
It was versus Tommy Tutu, yeah. Tutu was not very prepared for that, I heard.
Wasn't a close series. Wasn't much for the fans to watch, indeed. Tommy Tutu disappoints yet again. Myself and Staying Safe, we'll start with that one. This is a rematch. We just met in the playoffs last season.
Yeah.
He's happy to take another crack at me. Who do you like here?
Looking at the rosters here, Jirachi comes in, Tauros Blaze comes in fresh off a pickup. Tornadus comes in. It's tough. It's going to be tough for Rillaboom, obviously, with the Tauros Blaze, with the Tornadus. Even the Ape, he doesn't want to see him. Uphill battle for Staying Safe. Even Iron Moth is going to struggle at times here, of course, with the Flygon. He's got to worry about that. Decent matchup otherwise, I think, for Iron Moth. Just has to worry about the Cornerstone, so he's going to be... It's... I think he goes 3. I think he's going to... Listen, Staying Safe, scrappy. He's going to go down fighting. Just kind of hard to pick against Pegerton right now. Look for Cornerstone to have another good day. Caesar should be a little bit easier now, a matchup with the Tauros. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I think 2-1 Pegerton. We're
excited to play him again. We've had this one marked on the calendar. Figuratively. Weren't sure when the matchup was coming. But I had a good feeling based on the way the curator had scheduled the first 2 weeks running back the gauntlet of last season's playoffs. I like my matchup on paper, but I'm sure he's got some tricks. He's probably been plotting this one for a while.
Yeah.
We're not going to hold back. We're going to use our best stuff this week. That brings us to MRF and Mr. Boy.
Yeah, just from what I've seen, this is one of the toss-up games. I'm sure MRF knows how Mr. Boy plays very well, and vice versa. I think it's going to come down to Pagos. Again, we saw Pagos last week versus Frisian have its way. Cyclozar passing subs off into Zapdos is going to be big here. Zapdos is a pretty decent matchup if you look at, versus Moltres and even versus Pagos behind a sub. I mean, he can get like a Hurricane Confusion, maybe get a Discharge, Para. Pretty good into Empoleon.
Well, with an
Still
Iron
needs-
Hands on the other side, it's almost certain that we'll see Mudsdale again for the third consecutive week.
Right, Mudsdale has to come here. I think he goes 3. I'm going to lean from what I've seen MRF so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Boyd takes it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. Like you said, the Pagos matchup, something to watch out for. One Calm Mind and a Rapid Spin can get out of hand quickly. And then on the other side, there's Mudsdale's going to have to be, really the only thing holding Iron Hands back. Nothing else really matches up well with it one-on-one. But that does mean somebody on that top 6 is going to have to remain at home. So, wonder who it'll be. Don't think we've seen much of Manaphy yet.
No, I'd like to see Manaphy behind a sub get a Tail Glow. Not sure if it's this week, but at some point I think we will see Manaphy take over a game. And you're going to remember it and say on the pod, Machiavelli called Manaphy taking over behind a sub.
Yeah, quite possibly. Maybe Manaphy, I think, quite underrated. I think some people shy away from it. Maybe the 15-point price a little steep for some, but Tail Glow is a pretty strong move, and so is Take Heart.
Does it get Energy Ball? I don't know.
Yeah, it does get Energy Ball as well as Grass Knot.
Yeah, maybe a +3 Grass Knot or a +3 Energy Ball versus Empoleon would be attractive.
Can do big damage. I mean, Empoleon can't do a whole lot in return anyway, besides Roar You.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is honestly a toss-up for me. I wouldn't know one way or another who to pick in this matchup. But MRF, very impressive in all our matchups and from what I've seen from him in previous season. That brings us now to Swaggy Boy versus Frisian, and I think Swaggy Boy has the edge. Historically a better performer. Frisian this season so far really struggling to find his footing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know if Frizz knows what he wants to do with his team. He's shown, getting Snorlax going. He's shown a lot of love to the bench. I think in terms of bench usage, he's number 1 in the TPL. Showing a lot of love to the bench usage. That stat is brought to you by JJ Begabombs, aka the Big Bottoms Analytics Department. Showing off Snorlax, showing off Regirock, showing off Galvantula, just not really getting his aces going, right? We haven't seen Hydreigon take over. Seen Crown get some kills, but it was kind of, late game. Where it was kind of already over. But, I think this is the week where you got to say, all right, let's get Lando going. Let's get Hydreigon going. Maybe you throw on some, expert belt somewhere. If Hesidipity's going to be hurting Hydreigon chances of sweeping. But yeah, I think you just got to get back to the basics of each mon. I think it's showing a little bit too much Regirock action right now. I wouldn't bring it this week.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what his game plan is into this team. I think he's got a decent enough matchup. I know Swaggy wasn't entirely happy with his draft. We may see some shakeups from him in the near future. I think Frisian has the tools. It's a matter of getting kind of over that hump and, like you said, really maximizing those pieces he's got so many points tied up in.
Yeah.
But I like Swaggy here. 2-0 tentatively. Frisian has been known to steal games, and I think he could, but I think Swaggy the heavy favorite. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think he's the heavy favorite.
Limit versus Lily. This is one you may not have a lot of faith in actually getting scheduled or played on time.
Yeah.
These two notorious BSers around the deadline. They're both very formidable coaches.
If it gets played, I like Lily. Not really much to add up to it. I think Mamoswine into Tinglu is a good matchup. I think Mamoswine into Metagross is a decent matchup. I think if he stays away from Hawlucha, although Corviknight will have much to say about that, even Primarino will be bulky enough. I think Lily's got the tools to stop what Limit wants to do, set up Hawlucha. Could be a big Arcanine game. Problem is, Iron Boulder late game looks delicious here, as Wall Raging would say. So, I'm going to go Lily 2-1 if it gets played.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the matchup from Limit's side. That Hawlucha, I think, doesn't want to take the Ice Shard, but it can. And can one-hit KO that Mamoswine if it comes down to it. Metagross running something like a Shukaberry wouldn't surprise me. Tinglu, very stalwart. Doesn't like to see Corviknight on the other side regardless, but can phase it, wear it down, and still switch in into certain things. Although I'm not sure this is even a matchup where you want to bring Ting Lu. A lot of things on that side just do not care about it, and maybe we got to mix it up, get the bench involved.
Yeah, Sinistcha, decent matchup into it. Primarina can specs it, really just click water. He's got no water resist. Yeah, I mean, Hisuijo and Dedrawai, not really sure if that's going to come this week, but yeah, I mean, you can just specs Primarina and just clicks, water moves. I mean, Samurot's not going to come in on it, so...
Yeah, pretty tough matchup. Primarina looking quite delicious here, as the curator would say. I think I'm leaning Lily too, 2-1.
Yeah.
Limit.
Yeah, I'll go Lily.
Limit may surprise us. He's done it in the past, but Lily, I think, a bit hungrier this season.
Yeah, I think Lily. Anytime Lily gets picked against in the booth, Lily wins. So we'll see if Lily holds up to that.
Yeah, next up we got Machiavelli and Frost DP. What are your thoughts on this matchup as it approaches?
It's gonna be tough for sure. I think it's always tough with DP. Gotta watch out. He's got some sneaky mons. Haxorus is there, Volcaron is there, but I think Mandibuzz, Slowking, Galarian Form, even Swampert, Zamazenta, I've been calcs. They're not somebody you OHKO. And then Klefki is like my most hated mon in the game, I think, besides Ting Lu. So this is going to be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle. But I think I got the tools to stop what he wants to do. It's just the right execution. Zamazenta is going to be annoying, but I wish this was one of the series where Pursuit was an actual move in this gen, because Weavile would trap that Glow King and crank it. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think he's excited for it too. I haven't heard back from him though. I know he's on vacation, but we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. Have you two played before?
Yeah, he's beaten me before in the playoffs.
Oh wow, did not know that. That's interesting. I think I like DP here 2-0. I think he's gonna exploit that matchup pretty well. Yeah, I think Klefki, always in the back of your mind, and when you're really factoring in what you want to bring. I got the Salamence pickup that you're already dropped. Not sure Salamence is really going to want to perform out there, given that he's already been cut from the team.
Yeah, there's a cash incentive for the Dragon.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Not sure how happy Zapdos Galar is going to be.
He knew about it. Yeah, it was a rental.
Yeah, a rental. All right, needed the week off, right? Not Dev. Cyndaquil and Greedent. That's what we got next.
Congrats to Cyndaquil on the first win. Should have gotten it versus Tommy Tutu. Should be 2-1 right now.
Yeah, Tommy Tutu, with quite a bit of hacks in his favor, was able to deny Cyndaquil the first ever victory, but he does get it done versus Lil Luxio. Unfortunately, on the hands of a very unfortunate disqualification, a baton pass rapid spin speed boost led to his untimely demise in Game 2, and Cyndaquil able to get it done in Game 3. Unfortunately, the rule being what it is, the league was left with no choice. You have to be careful when you're clicking baton pass. I've lobbied to unrestrict the move in its entirety, which I'm told is deeply unpopular. I disagree, but if you feel otherwise, let us know. Cyndaquil versus Greedent. This is a good one here. Greedent, I think, obviously the heavy favorite, but I think Cyndaquil has the momentum in his favor. I think he's locked in. I think he's looking for another win. I don't know that he's able to pick apart that stout defensive core of Melodic, Tinkaton, and Pekkarunt. That's going to be tough. The Pekkarunt.
That's not the right team.
That's Lil Luxio's team.
Yeah, that's Luxio's team. Yeah, so Greedent's got Kilowattrel as a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, that's a great matchup too, but Cyndaquil did have trouble with that defensive core of Lil Luxio.
Yeah, he did, but if you look at Quaquaval, hey, I'll take it from here, Bob. Yeah. Don't worry. Quaquaval's gonna have a tough time with Screamtail. Great Tusk's gonna have a tough time with Screamtail. Glimmora is gonna set up. Hatterene doesn't want to switch, and even if it does bounce the rocks, you're gonna kind of sacrifice Hatterene, right? With possibly taking a Sludge Wave or possibly taking a Mortal Spin. Greedent is the favorite here, but you can't discount Cyndaquil right now. I mean, Cyndaquil is hotter than a tamale on a grill on a New York Friday night. Azumbro looks really good here, even with the snow. He played snow last week, had the brick break, chopped the brick break open. Abomasnow, boom, thanks for coming out. I'm going Cynical here 2-1. I really like what Cynical's been doing. He's been in the Mac dojo. And Cineroar could be a sneaky good bring here if I'm looking at it right. I'm going Cynical 2-1. Serral Edge is somebody to watch for here.
Got Greedent 2-0. Now that I'm looking at the correct roster, I think Greedent has a heavy advantage here. I think Heatran a big threat. Not sure Cyndaquil can pick apart that stout core of Great Tusk, Katarine, Heatran, Alolan Ninetales setting the screens back by the snow defense boost. Cyndaquil in a lot of danger this week. 2-0, I think. Not sure he should be spending time in Soho if he wants to take out Officer Greedent, TPL patrol member. Next up, Dev and Arendai. This one should be exciting.
Yeah. I feel bad for Arendai. He's gotten the short end of the stick the last couple of weeks, I think. Tough hacks breaks going his way. Looks like this one will be played either Monday or Tuesday. Both guys are a little busy, mostly on the Dev side. Greninja's going to be tough once again. I think he's got a decent enough answer. Take a hit, plop over, whack him back. Ogerpon can be scarfed. Arendai's got the answers. I wish I had some of these answers playing Dev. I think the problem is there's going to be too much steamroll shenanigans going on. He's got different waves of attacks. Slitherwing looks pretty good here. Ursaluna, can it get a kill? Yes. Will this be sustainable? Don't know. Hasn't shown it yet. Kingambit got benched last week. It's sure to be fresh, but Arendai's got a pretty good matchup here. Can he take advantage of it? I'm not sure. Slowking will be pivoting into things. Look for Gengar to be very, very sneaky this week. Possibly see Sceptile at some point.
We're not going to see Sceptile. Give it a break. Dev's got that such a strong top six, and then Slitherwing off the bench. Just a nasty roster. Arendai, somewhat top heavy there, but does have a good balance in the midsection there. Lycanroc Midnight, really the only one that's not likely to see action this week. I think Dev just historically the favorite here, but like you said, Arendai does have the pieces. Can he shuffle them around and find a way to put a dent in this roster of Devs? I think he can. I think Ursaluna looks pretty solid here.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I
just think Dev's gonna have too much.
Yeah, got to find a way maybe to use that Keldeo to get bring the Slowking in and sort of have your way with it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Treat it like a Salisbury steak. If you can find a way to sort of get ahead of that Slowking, sort of use it to your advantage, maybe to get that Ursaluna in there to do some things. Maybe that's your path to victory. A few different ways you can approach it. I think I got to lean Dev 2-1 just based on what we've seen from these two in the past. But Arendai has some options. Would excite me to see a big upset here.
Yeah, me too. I definitely need to see an upset. If I had to catch Dev.
2-2. And little Luxio got Tommy 2-2 losing 2-0.
Yeah, I love Luxio as well, 2-0. Cinderace, excellent matchup here. Beats Skarm. Can just U-turn its way into Latias and Ogre. Being bulky enough to take a hit from Latias as well. Low kicks. Can have a tough time. Hitmontop, definitely an answer to Blaziken if it's boosted enough, weak enough, can chip it away. He's got a really good answer to Blaziken as well with the Peck. Just like what Luxio's potential is all over the board. Too is going to be cute. He's going to try to bring Regice here. He's going to be thinking big brain or small brain in his way. Abomasnow is obviously somebody that you're looking at on the other team. Tutu's going to say, Regice is going to be good here in the snow. I don't know. I just don't see a Bob.
I like Abomasnow into any matchup with Ogerpon Wellspring. Really going to be able to pivot in.
Yes, sir.
Take those hits. This is the last thing Tommy Tutu wants to see for Blaziken. You got Melodic, you got the Peck, as you said, Pecharunt there. Garchomp, with the rough skin. You don't want to click Flare Blitz. Blaziken, really susceptible to being worn down in that way.
Right.
Tommy Tutu, I don't think I'm going to be able to break really down these walls. I don't think he knows how.
No.
Even if he did know how, I don't think he could pull it off.
No, and Tinkaton, a great answer to Latias as well. You can T-Wave, really cripple it, start pecking it. think it's bulky enough to take a Wellspring hit as well. T-Wave, boom. Tutu's team is a little bit too straightforward, as I've said before. I think he's not a big brain trainer. Likes to draft simple bonds. Really hurts you in the long game when people start bringing out tech like I think Luxio do this week. I got Luxio 2-0, pins him.
Yeah, got Luxio 2-0 here. To be completely serious. Don't think Tommy Tutu can get it done. Hasn't gotten it done so far. Didn't get it done last season. May never get it done again. And that's about all. Any transactions you want to cover tonight?
Yeah, Salamence signed, released in the same week. It's a trial run with Soho. Not a lot of transactions. I think people are happy with their rosters. I'm still experimenting, of course. A lot of Soho Thugs moves. A lot of shuffling around. Not a lot going on, though. In the league, Ampapom is picked up for Talonflame. Yeah, not much going on, though, Mark.
Yep, we'll keep you posted. Tune in next week. More replay reviews will be up live on the YouTube channel. Stay tuned. Big things coming. Interconference next week, perhaps. We haven't heard. Curator hard at work behind the scenes. Myself and Machiavelli